Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. Jacques. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is your way. Jacques, as we are here coming straight off from the loss in LA against the Chargers, man, 27-17. Shout out to all those that I met in LA. Dude, I met so many people. And at the end, man, I'm going to give a shout out to those that I did meet, man. Everyone I met was just so nice, bro. But though I had an incredible time in LA meeting with family, just, man, Lakers game, everything. I had a great time in LA. We came away with a loss, and that pretty much ruined the end of my trip, bro. So we're coming fresh off a loss against the Chargers, Jacques, man. We're here now, dude, with the Vikings, Jacques.
Yes, sir. We sure is. And again, man, we're here again with the Vikings. We're gonna see how this thing goes. It's at Nissan Stadium, man, and you know how it goes. And I'm glad you enjoyed your trip, man, in LA. You know, like, we gotta hold it down where I'm at over here. So, hey, welcome back. At least I had a safe trip, man. I know that LA weather was nice, and that food, that some of that food you had looked decent as well. So, man, shout out to you for representing us, Titans fans in LA, man. So, but let's go ahead and hop into it, man. Give us some reasons, man. You know, those Vikings just coming off a win against the Jaguars, I think. How can we beat the Vikings, man? I only beat them 12-7. They didn't dominate them, but is there a way we can beat the Vikings? Do you see a way?
I really do, Jacques. Now, when you look at the score 12-7, you know what I'm saying? The Vikings it's crazy. They're 7-2, dude. Like, their record is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So I've watched the last 3 games of the Vikings. I'm talking about I watched it in full go, right? There's many ways we can beat these Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is not going to allow us to run the football. It's just plain and simple. We're not running on Minnesota. They're going to lock it down. Their pass defense is pretty good. I mean, Brian Flores is a hell of a coach, man. He's got these boys playing great on defense. But I will tell you this, man. Sam Darnold, over the last several games, has thrown a lot of interceptions, right? He looked terrible against the Jags. Awful. And I was like, whoa. And even against the Colts. I mean, you know, they didn't, again, just 12 points. So lately, Sam Darnold has been Sam Darnolding as he had prior to this resurgence he's had with Minnesota. Minnesota's been holding strong the last 3 weeks because of their defense, not their offense. So I think this. Minnesota lately, again, he has 17 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. And he's had maybe, you know, the last game and the previous game, half of those come from those 2 games. So what I'm looking at is like, can we get Sam Darnold to turn the football over? You know, Minnesota likes to run Aaron Jones, but for some reason I'm not worried about Aaron Jones running the football. I think we'll do a good job in holding him. Again, our defense, though we're number 2 in the league in defense, we are number 2 in the league in points. What I mean is team score on us. But I do think, man, it's through passing the football. I think we'll hold Aaron Jones strong enough up front with our defense. Jeffrey Simmons has been playing crazy, and Arden Key has been playing well. Sebastian Joseph Day. The run defense has been there. Put the ball in Sam Darnold's hands. Yes, you have Justin Jefferson out there. I'm very aware of that, right? I don't want him doing the gritty on us like he has in the past. But I'm telling you, this guy here, Sam Darnold, he has been really taking a lot of risks throwing the football, especially now since he has T.J. Hawkinson. He looks for T.J. Hawkinson a lot, and he did that a lot in his last game. I think if our defense could be settled, stay in their cover 2, play up front, don't allow the deep pass to go to Justin Jefferson. If we can keep everything in front of us, we have an opportunity to get some turnovers against the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota, I give them credit on their defense. Again, they cause a lot of turnovers. You know, they are +4 in the turnover ratio. But I'm telling you, they're starting to lose grip because they're throwing interceptions. They even made the Jags defense. They literally could not pass the ball against Jacksonville, dude. Like, Jacksonville was holding them strong, and Jacksonville's defense is not as good as ours. So allow him to throw the football. That's one huge reason we can beat the Minnesota Vikings. On the other side, dude, Minnesota special teams isn't good either, bro. When it comes to kickoff and punt returns, they're one of the worst in the league. So when I look at that as well, that's a struggle that we've had. So we can even that out because I think special teams is about half of the reasons why we've lost games this season, especially against the Chargers. That was a huge – those kickoffs and punts that the Chargers were having hurt us, hurt our defense. They're not going to do that against us. Well, I don't know. You know how we are in special teams. We're pretty terrible. Minnesota is as bad as we are in special teams. And if Viking fans are watching this show, I'm sure you all can attest. kick the ball. Don't be scared. He has a prone to kind of fumble the ball a little bit. They do not have a good kickoff and punt return team. So though their record is 7-2, I don't know if they'll go far in the playoffs. They got a lot of holes they need to fix. So those are reasons why I think we could beat the Minnesota Vikings. How about you, Jacques?
So again, like you said, on from a defensive perspective, is creating those turnovers, and trying to get the momentum early. You need to create them early if that's the case. The Jags just didn't have enough on offense to kind of keep up with them and score points when they needed to. That was the problem with them. But again, I watched that game and the Jags defense played pretty solid. But Sam Darnold was just being Sam Darnold. I mean, he was doing his thing. I mean, and again, that's the complaint that he's had against him when he was with the Jets and everything like that. So if something that we didn't do with the Chargers game is create turnovers, and that equated to us not just everything that happened, but that helps us when we do create some type of turnovers, because turnovers are momentum shift, if that makes sense, right? They tend to shift the momentum. Like and I hate to go back to the Chargers game, but the fumble that Herbert, when he was throwing his hand forward, and it was a fumble, but they called it, they reversed the call. But that was a momentum shift, because in that point, you're going into the half. I think at that point it was 14-10, I believe, or whatnot, and you need all the points that you can score. So if you could take advantage of that, your stat, you're good. From an offensive perspective, you need the momentum. The actual first play drive that we've done in the past couple of games, I would probably even say minus 1 or 2 games, but we tend to get the first drive and we tend to drive the ball downfield. I don't know why that. I mean, defenses adjust. I get it. But you need to keep that momentum going throughout the entire game. If you could do that, I'm not going to say we're going to score a gazillion points, but you at least kill them with time of possession, kill them with the momentum, slow the game down a little bit. Sometimes I feel like our offense is going a little bit too fast. If you can slow it down a little bit and make that defense work and kill them with chunk plays and just smart plays, we have a chance to win this particular game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Facts, no paper, Jacques. Facts, no paper, bro. So let's flip the question then, bro. So Minnesota, I haven't checked the line yet. I think the last line I saw, I haven't seen it today. I think I saw it the other day. I want to say it was 7. So those in the comment section, I'll check it while we're doing the show. How can the Vikings beat the Tennessee Titans?
You can take advantage of it. I mean, like you said, the Vikings defense has been they're in plus territory when it comes to turnovers. Byron Murphy, I believe, leads them in interceptions. He's their corner. 4 interceptions, right, on the year. We know, luckily, we didn't turn the ball over against LA from a passing perspective. We got lucky. Matter of fact, I don't think we had any turnovers. But if you can manipulate them and get to where Will Levis, you can confuse him, which the Vikings defense tends to do that a lot. Like they have a unique scheme when it comes to scheming. And I forgot what quarterbacks kind of gave them props when they played them, but their defense is pretty solid. It's no slouch, okay? So that's another thing too. We know we've been struggling on the right side when it comes to the offensive line. We got to contain the right side. And we know Will Levis' pocket presence isn't the best right now, right? So if the Vikings take advantage of that and create turnovers, that's one way they can beat us from a defensive perspective. And offensively, man, I ain't got to say too much, dog. Even though Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold, and he's still Sam Darnold. He still has been productive. They're 7-2 for a reason. He's thrown for 2,141 yards. Aaron Jones is running with 653 yards. And, of course, you got that boy JJ, which is a.k.a. Justin Jefferson, who's receiving cap right now at 831. If you let him, and you got Jordan Addison as well, and TJ, if you let those 3 go amok, then you have a problem. It's going to be a long day. Now we haven't seen a receiver like Justin Jefferson just yet. I know we haven't played the Bengals just yet because we got to see his college counterpart, right? But this is the best receiver to date that we will be facing, and Brownlee has his hands full with that because it's his assignment that he has to go against Justin Jefferson. Okay, say, hey, we lock him up. You still got Jordan Addison, and for some reason, the secondary receivers that we've played this year have been able to go off a little bit, right? And not by a yardage perspective, but from a touchdown here, right? 15 yards here, something crazy that happens. And then the tight end hasn't killed us this year, but you got to look out for something. So this is the first offense that from a multi-facet standpoint that we have played, and you're going to really have to tighten down on defense. that's where we're going to have to rely on Jeffrey Simmons and that defensive line to kind of get off and get pressure on them, Sam. Because if we don't, it's going to be a long day, bro. It's going to be a long day. So I just suggest that the secondary, if I'm the secondary's coach, work on communication, stay in your assignments. And when I mean stay in your assignments, I coach my kids the same way. Hey, stay in your lane, right? Stay home if you need to. If you got cover 3, hey, make sure that was what was killing us with the Chargers game. Miscommunication, nobody knowing their assignment. You do this against this team, by halftime, they'll be up 28. So that's me. What about you, Hawk?
Jacques, I hear you on that, brother. And I'm gonna add to that, Jacques. So we just played the Chargers, who is number 1 in the league in scoring defense. The Chargers, number 1 in the league. I think their defense is really low-key pretty damn good. But looking at the Vikings, they're number 3 in scoring defense. So they do not allow a lot of points in these games. They really don't. So it's kind of weird the last 2 games we're playing against really good defenses. And Minnesota has a very solid defense. And the reason being is because, again, shout out to Brian Flores, man. He's got these boys playing crazy out there. You got Stephon Gilmore out there balling. You got Byron Murphy, as you mentioned, balling. Shaquille Griffin, Harrison Smith, possible Hall of Fame one day. He's really good. Those guys, the defensive backfield is really, really good. Pass rush is okay, but man, they do not allow the run, nor do they allow the pass. And we struggle in pass, and we struggle on scoring. 17 points against the Chargers. I don't really see us scoring much more than that against the Vikings. As I've always mentioned, Jacques, this season, #points. That's been our problem, scoring points. And you're going against a team that does not allow a lot of points. They just don't. And so that's a huge reason there. We just won't score enough. Minnesota's got weapons on offense. Us, we don't. We just don't. So, I just think their defense, they got a good defense. And that's what's been helping Minnesota to be 7-2 right now. When I look at them on tape, they do not look like a 7-2 team. Viking fans, if you're watching, I'm telling you, your team doesn't look like that, but it is what it is, right? The last 2 offenses you guys have played against the Colts and Jags, they suck just like we do. So you might be 8-2 after this game. But I just think right now, defensively, they're really good. Then, to your point earlier, man, we haven't faced nobody like Justin Jefferson, bro. You know what I'm saying? Justin Jefferson almost already has 900 yards receiving. And so they're going to set up offenses for him to get the football, as they've done over the last several games. I don't know who's going to guard him. L'Jarius Sneed, I keep hearing, might play, so that'll help us a lot. He's out.
Correct you right there. He's out.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I know he'd been doubtful. He's out. Okay, so that hurts. So now you have, is it McCrary? Is it Brown? Is it the rookie? Jarvis Brownlee. So those guys are going to have to really play a good scheme against Justin Jefferson, because Justin Jefferson is not just a route runner getting to a spot. What he does, man, he runs multiple routes. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't just run outs and curls. He's running out curls and ups. He's running out curls and drag. So he's going to have our DBs doing this, right? So we have to be ready for that. So he himself is a problem. He is. You mentioned about tight ends have not been a problem. That is a fact. It's him. It's Justin Jefferson and their defense that could allow us to lose this game, Jacques.
No facts, no paper. And what he'll do is his coming out game was against us about 2 to 3 years ago when he was doing the gritty. As a matter of fact, I would say he started doing the gritty after he played us.
Yep.
We're historic. So if y'all want to know how the gritty got started in the NFL.
Motion, Adam has the receiving touchdown. Cousins from under center goes back to pass. Straight drop. Passing right. Jefferson, yes, on the run. 40-30. Angles left to the 20. And he is gone.
You know what's ironic about that?
What's that, John?
We won that game.
Yeah, we won the game. We did.
We won that game. So that's the ironic part. That was his coming out party. But anyway, right. Hawk, quick question. Who would you consider the player of the game for the Titans if you have to pick one?
I don't think we're going to run well, because I think their defense is going to hold strong. I'm looking for Jarvis Brownlee to have a big game against the Minnesota Vikings. Your boy, Jarvis Brownlee. Yes, reason I say that is because even in the Chargers game, I just see Brownlee growing up every game, and he's becoming more confident. And right now, he's cornerback 1 right now. And so with L'Jarius Sneed being out, Jarvis Brownlee is going to get some work. He's going to get some work against these receivers and Justin Jefferson and Addison, he's going to get some work. And that's going to allow him to have an opportunity to do something. They even throw Jalen Naylor out there. They call him Speedy Naylor out there. I really think they're going to test him. And I think he's going to be up for the challenge. Now, as I've mentioned about him, at times his aggressiveness, if you could beat him within 5 yards, he's in trouble. But I've seen him improve. I've seen him improve in that regard. I've seen this again. Shout out to the Titans coaching. When I look at how he's been playing lately, he hasn't been playing as up. He's been playing about 5 to 7 yards, and he's still aggressive, but he's giving himself space in it because even against the Chargers, that's what he was doing. I was like, okay, I see improvement with Brownlee. So I can anticipate the way that Sam Darnold's throwing the football. Jarvis Brownlee, get you an interception, bro. And when you get the INT, do the gritty on him, dog. Do the gritty on him, bro. Do the gritty on him. I see Jarvis Brownlee having a good game against the Minnesota Vikings. Count that down. What about you, Jacques?
He's battle tested too, because you think about it in training camp, who he had to go against. He had to go against Calvin Ridley and D Hop. So he's prepared for this moment. So shout out to Jarvis. Man, player of the game. And like you said, I don't think they'll be able to run the ball anyway. So I'm looking for Calvin Ridley to have a decent game, right? Because you're going to have to air it out. Like you said, their defense is good when it comes to the run. And at this point, we have no choice, right? So look for your number one receiver in Calvin Ridley.
All right. Do you know Calvin Ridley over the last 3 games is number 2 in the league in receiving, man? Calvin Ridley, the last 3 games. Shout out to Calvin Ridley, bro. Shout out, man. All right. So what about the Vikings, Jacques? So, we know the roster very well. We studied these guys, man. Who should we watch out for the Minnesota Vikings, for the Titan fans that might not know Minnesota?
Man, I'm going to go off a limb. It's easy to say JJ, right? Justin Jefferson. But I'm going to go Jordan Addison. I liked him coming out of USC. I like his style. And he's just one of those sneaky players that, the assignment is they're going to try to double team Justin Jefferson. That's just what they're going to do. They're going to try to keep a single high safety over him, or high safety over him, and then you're going to have Brownlee underneath, right? It just is what it is. You got to double team. So if if McQuarrie's not on Jordan Addison, who's the other corner that we have? The other corner that we have?
Brownlee.
We got McQuarrie and Brownlee, and who's our slot?
Brown has been playing, and that's really been it. Yeah.
Okay. So with those two, I'm looking for, okay, who's going to pick up that assignment? And I just feel like right now, the way things are going, they're probably scheming for that. Like, okay, hey, you're going to get double team anyway. Addison, hey, you haven't been really blowing it up lately, so this would be the perfect game to get you some work in and get you some yardage and everything. So that's for me.
Jacques, that's a great thought there. So, Jacques, I'm going to say for them, man, okay, Will Levis didn't throw any interceptions, and we'll talk about that here soon. But he's due a pick or two. It's just what it is. So I look at Harrison Smith, the safety for the Minnesota Vikings, the veteran safety who's been there for many years, number 22 for those that don't know, and Addison wears 3. Harrison Smith is a problem, dude. Dude is a play. He's low-key one of the most underrated safeties in the league over the last 5 years, bro. Like him and Kevin Byard, like people don't really realize how good they are. Harrison Smith is really good. So I would say watch out for Harrison Smith. A lot of times Will Levis, a lot of his interceptions are mid-deep, right? And he's going to be there. Harrison Smith, he is prone to getting interceptions. So I will watch out for Harrison Smith, number 22 for the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, awesome. So Hawk, this is a off-the-wall question when it comes to the Vikings game. From what you've seen in the LA game, did you see any improvements from Will Levis?
Jacques, I did see improvement. Still having those struggles with holding the football too long, from a processing standpoint. I really think he's overthinking because he doesn't want to be a meme god again, right? I think that's a part of it. He wants everything to sort of process before he makes a decision. I can almost see him doing that. I can literally see his brain like sitting there like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Outside of that, I thought, he was turnover free. I really like that. That's progress. I did see some of the runs he made was some good. He made some good decisions on some of the runs. There was 1 or 2 sacks I'd had to put on the lineman on this one. I mean, I just felt that the linemen in the second half, they stunk. I don't know what happened in the second half against the Chargers. From one game to the next, it's not like I'm saying, oh, Will Levis he's got it all now. I did see improvement from a decision-making standpoint, not making stupid throws and not making stupid plays. His biggest knock was just holding on the football for too long. You know, you look at his game stats, they weren't terrible. You know what I mean? I don't have them in front of me now, the stats itself. But I think that, you know, I saw some improvements, even though we didn't win the game and our offense didn't really do well. I think overall, I did see improvements from Will Levis. So hopefully this is a trend going forward for him in these next several games, because it's on him. He's going to be out there. No matter what he does, I don't think we're going to see Mason Rudolph out on the field again, unless Will Levis gets injured. I think they're going to kick the tires on Will Levis. Go out there and do what you do. Let's see what you're talking about, bro. I don't care if you throw 5 or 6 interceptions. We're keeping you out on the field, bro. So that's what I think. What about you, Jacques?
Yeah, I did. I seen some improvements when it came to him running the ball. Now, this is kind of weird. Usually he would dive and try to hit somebody, but he slid. So shout out to him. And then from a throwing perspective, again, it's the knack on him that, of course, he did this in college, right? Hold the ball too long. It's just going through his progressions. He's a little late here. Might have had somebody open here, but he didn't turn the ball over, and he's trying to go through his progression. So it's little improvements that continue to happen that he's slowly learning the NFL game. You would like to see him pick it up a little bit faster, but some things you're just going to have to take with sometimes. It's like, okay, you take the good with the bad and the bad with the good. So I did see a little bit improvements when it came to the Chargers game. I think my biggest thing was not making a bad decision when it comes to turning the ball over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, well, all right. Well, listen, folks, I want to give a shout out, Jacques, man, as I mentioned earlier, and I mentioned to you before the show that, man, I was in LA and I was there for the Chargers-Titans game. Too bad the Titans lost against the Chargers. But in the midst of this trip that I had, man, I met so many Titan fans, and not just that, Jacques, Titan fans that support our show, bro. People recognize who I was, man. I thought that was really dope. And I got a chance to talk, man, with so many people. So first, I want to say thank you for those that, that support the show. Even if I didn't see you or we've never seen you, we appreciate you all, watching our show, our podcast on Bleacher Report, on Apple, on Spotify. Man, we're out there, man. We're out there. We got content out there. So I just want to say, man, I'm going to just give like a quick pictures of some things that people that I did see. In particular, man, I got to give a shout out to Titan Anderson, man. TA, dude, hey, it was great seeing you, bro. Hey, dog, it was automatic, man, just like, what up, bro? What's happening, dude? Like, the California Titan King out there, bro. Hey, I appreciate meeting you, man. It was great seeing you, dude. Hey, many blessings to you, man, on your show as your show's been growing, dude. Shout out to TA, man. Again, shout out to my boy in Tally, my frat brother out there as well, man. Met him in California. Shout out to Ian, bro. Shout out to him, his family, his wife, also his homeboy as well, too, and his wife and family as well, man. We had some great conversations about the Titans, man. It was amazing. Shout out to y'all. I was able to, even during the game, that was during the fan appreciation. This was at the game as well, man. Shout out to all the Deltas out there. I'm an Alpha, so shout out to the D9 out there. And as well, too, man, shout out to the California Titan fans. Man, I met so many out there as well, too, man. I met them live. So, again, if I don't know your name, cool. But if I did meet you, I appreciate it. Shout out to Jarrell Casey. Met him live as well, too, man. A cool dude there, bro. Shout out to Jarrell Casey, the Titans legend. Jarrell Casey was amazing here, dude. Like, dude was a sack machine as a D tackle, bro. So, shout out to him. And, again, my homeboys that always goes, my brother as well. We got Juggernaut, we got J.A. in the building, man, and Mark the Skeptic, bro. Appreciate y'all as well, too, man, on another successful road trip. The Chargers tailgate was off the chain, Jacques. Off the chain, bro. We had a great time at the tailgate. And last, Jacques, I want to say, man, shout out to my aunt, man, that's in South Central Los Angeles. I got a lot of family in L.A. If you have not been to Jack's Family Cafe, man, check it out. The breakfast is amazing, bro. Check it out, man. Hey, that's my family's restaurant there, man. Shout out to my aunt, you know what I'm saying, and everything, man. So I had to give that shout out on this show, Jacques, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Yep. So, well, cool, Jacques. Well, we got the breakdown of the Vikings, bro. As y'all know, again, we appreciate all y'all watching the show. You can follow us here on YouTube. Hit the like button if you hadn't hit the like button, man. Subscribe to us as well here at Tennessee Titans Weekly. You can follow us on Bleacher Report. You just go to the Titans. We're there. You can follow us at Lorenzo_the Hawk. And we got at Jacques Merrill. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We out there, Jacques.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. And when y'all do follow, man, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, hit all that, man. It lets you know when we go live and post any content. And then, hey, man, let's get to the Vikings, man, and tighten up. Don't take us out, Hope.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, as we always say, we hope y'all have a great rest of your week. We'll see y'all on Sunday. And as we always say, and as we always do, Jacques, facts.
No paper.